Пойдем посмотрим, что там дальше. Какие лодки есть. Вот это марина с яхтами.
Wrap that around your body, and then there's a clip here. You'll just snap right onto there. Now take your time, guys. Make sure that you're secure in these should you have to put them on. Now, if the queen decides she's done it, she's ready to go down, it'll take her about 48 hours to do that. So just take your time. All right, you got plenty. All right, there are other emergency equipment items on board. There are hoses and extinguishers, etc. Please do not tamper with those. If there's an emergency, we will handle it for you. So all you guys have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Can you do that? I know you can. All right, so formalities are over. Let me introduce you to your crew. All right, guys. On deck with me is Nick. He is down on the first deck, down there. If you're down there, wave at Nick down. If you're wondering who's driving the Grand Dame of the river, that is Captain Heather at the helm above us. Let's see, all of that. All of this was owned at one time in the 1800s by one person. That person's name was Mary Brinkle. That's right, we have a lady boss around here. Yes. Now, Miss Brinkle decided towards the end of the 1800s to start parceling off butterflies that he decided to construct this home in the shape of one. So guys, if you're looking at it from above, even from the front, you see the shape of the wings, and those two staircases coming down actually form the antennas of that butterfly. Pretty cool, right? Now, it's unique in a lot of ways. One, it's a zero landlocked property. That simply means that there's no front side or backyard, okay? I know what you're thinking. Why would I spend millions of dollars on a waterway that are water view properties? A water view simply means that you're looking at the front door, and between the front door and ours that service the community, we call it Gilligan's Island, and hopefully we'll have a few members there when you come back. Look on the right-hand side. I want to show you this beige house with the beautiful arched windows on the corner there. It's got a rock ceiling. Moved in, right? They didn't stay there more than a year and a half. The wife was like, it is way too hot here. So they packed it up, sold the house, and moved to Arizona. Go figure. On the left-hand side, just behind you guys in the front, is that seafoam blue-green house. Guys, that's where they shot that movie, Cape Fear. Remember that movie? Yeah, right there. They had to do it here, not in the Carolinas where the river is, because Nick Nolte was on house arrest. He couldn't leave the state. Yeah. Look on the right-hand side, say hello. Guys, that is a beautiful modern work of art, and it is my house. After party. Yeah, just kidding. Maybe in about 10 years or so. I'm working on it, guys. I'm taking donations. Help. Help. Look on the right-hand side. This is another beautiful home, guys, but it's extra special because everything to the left of those double doors in the middle is an 1,800 square foot kitchen. 1,800 square feet. That's right, you need a GPS to find your forks in there. On the left-hand side is another very cool modern mansion. Now this one is special for a different reason. It has a tree growing out of the middle. Now, the original owner took his plans to the city and said, this is what I want to build. They said no, they denied him. They said, you cannot uproot or move this tree, it is protected. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a dogwood tree. In case you buy some land to build, and you know it's a dogwood tree by its bark. Oh, I'm here all day, ladies and gentlemen. Look on the right-hand side. Now, those of you who are serious about moving to South Florida, I urge you to really look at Fort Lauderdale. It's a little gem, okay, right here on the New River. These condos on the right-hand side are about $350,000, $400,000. You can still get them. There's several buildings around here as well. But this one in particular were the dorms back in the day for modeling school, John Robert Power School of Modeling. One of their first locations is on the right-hand side, that little beige building with the perfect lawn. Now you guys can imagine models like Christy Brinkley and Cheryl Teague sunbathing at 18 on the lawn. We'll also imagine the Jungle Queen breaking down strategically right about here for about 5 minutes. On the left-hand side, I want to show you a more humble house. This yellow one with the blue pool belongs to a good friend of ours, Jim Noggle. Now, Jim was one of our most famous mayors of Fort Lauderdale, okay? He served about 6 consecutive terms in office. When he took office, he changed the laws and lifted sky bans, and that allowed us to show you all of this modern and residential development. Now, all up and down the river, back in the day, were just stinky shipyards. All up and down the river, and you changed that. Now, the buildings you see on the right-hand side beside you, those are examples of that sky band. There was a time you couldn't build above 5 or 4 stories, right? Well, he changed that. We're rolling into downtown Fort Lauderdale so we get to show off our skyscrapers. Well, they're not quite scraping the sky yet, so we'll call them sky ticklers for now. Yeah. Now, the first establishment you come to downtown Fort Lauderdale is on the right-hand side. That is the Boathouse. You guys can pop in there for lunch or dinner. And it is attached to the oldest hotel here downtown on the river. That is the Riverside Hotel. Now, they were done building in 1935. When they were done, they hired a young actor to do the ribbon cutting. His name was Ronald Reagan. Yeah? Oh, yeah. Keep looking on the right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to notice that there's a little logo, right? If you got married and divorced within 12 months, you got to buy one, get one free. Is that ridiculous? Yeah. True story. Look on the left-hand side. I want to show you another building. This is New River Landing. Beautiful units in there, guys. But I want to let you know, this is true affordable housing. Now, the penthouses on top, they go for like 18, 25, 27 million, something like that. But you still can get a unit in there, I heard, for about $175,000. That is good. Absolutely. Now, that unit might be the size of a closet way in the back that overlooks the dumpsters, but location is everything. Straight ahead, you will see the Southeast 3rd Avenue Bridge. Now, guys, I know you're like, it's a bridge. It's a car bridge. And these car bridges are essential to the history of Fort Lauderdale, right? Now, this new river that we're traveling on, that we're sailing on, has lots of offshoots throughout Fort Lauderdale, and it really chops up the city. These allow us to become a true through city, right? If you look on the right-hand side, you will see a mural, and that is really how people got around throughout the city. They had to canoe across each one of these offshoots. Now, these bridges are all on demand. That means that there's a bridge tender up there 24/7, and whenever we come, we call, we say, open up, and that's what they do. This is called Queen Clout, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. They shut traffic down. Largest hotel and probably the most valuable land in Broward County, okay? Now, just when we make it through, I want you to look kind of straight ahead to the left-hand side. Through the trees there, you'll see a big white building. That big white building is the largest hotel. They actually serviced about 1,500 guests last night, okay? They have great amenities. They give you free bars and cell phones in every room. If you check in early enough, you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner complimentary. Absolutely. Just over there to the left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Broward County Jail. Yeah, the largest hotel. Oh yes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you, if you're planning on breaking the law, do it here. Because we will give you a $60 million riverfront view. Only in Fort Lauderdale. All right, now, if you take a glance on the left and the right-hand side, you will see a red brick walkway. Now, when you come to Fort Lauderdale, everybody says, go on Las Olas. There's lots of shops and restaurants and bars and just a good time. And then they tell you to take a walk on Riverwalk, the famous Riverwalk. Well, that is what it is, that red brick walkway on either side. It's about 10 miles, right? Lots and lots and lots for you to see and enjoy on Riverwalk. Now, that was donated to the city by our local billionaire, Wayne Huizenga. Look on the left-hand side real quickly, guys. There's a little building over here. Blue awnings, yellow sign that says the Downtowner. In the back, there's a white portion that has a red sign. It says the Maxwell Room. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the first establishment ever on the New River, right? That little room in the back was a speakeasy back during Prohibition. So epic shenanigans went on back there, and so the city decided to deem it historic. On the right-hand side, there's a little park over there. I want you to notice that is Bouvier Park, but we affectionately call it Huizenga Park. Now, Bouvier was one of the founding fathers, but Wayne Huizenga donated that park and named it, yes. So you guys get a good idea on why we call him our local billionaire. And we're going through Andrews Avenue Bridge. This is a single-span car bridge right here. As we make it through, look on the right-hand side. If you're here for a few more days, I encourage you to come and dine at Rivertail. Guys, this is one of my favorite restaurants here on the New River. Rivertail was started by a young chef in 2020. He was shut down for a few months, but when he opened again, they hit the ground running, and they've been rocking it ever since. Like, really. Right next door is the Wharf. The Wharf is the largest and most popular outdoor bar in Brown County. Anybody been there yet? Anybody been to the Wharf? Well, I'll tell you this. It's empty right now, but every night there's like 2,000 to 3,000 people out there. All young, wild, and reckless. That's right. Woo! I'm jealous. I just can't do it anymore. So yes, this is Riverwalk. This is kind of where you land around here. Lots of restaurants, shops, galleries. There's even big buns over here. Oh my, 3D movie screen. There's also lots of interactive exhibits at the museum, so it is very cool as well. As we spin around, you'll see the Broward Performing Arts Center. That is right here on the right-hand side. Now guys, there's a little building on the end. You'll see the name on it. Huizenga Pavilion, yeah. This is one of the last things that Wayne Huizenga donated to the city, the Auto Nation, IMAX 3D Theater, right? You guys understand now why we call him our local billionaire. The Huizengas have been involved here in the communities and in the development for many, many, many years. But their giving was really behind his wife, Marty. There's a little cafe at the bottom of the building over there that's a dedication to her nation. Some good tips on you on how to spend your millions, right? Look on the left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen. This house I absolutely love. That 2-story brick front house looks like it should be in New England somewhere. It is 12 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It sits on 2 acres of old Fort Lauderdale land, one of the last of its kind here. Now, I can get you into this property today only, ladies and gentlemen, for $3.2 million. Somebody raise your hand. If you're ready, come on, I know you're ready. I see you, baby. Yeah. But full disclosure, guys, that $3.2 million is a 10% down payment on a $32 million home. You know. All right. Keep looking on the left-hand side. I want to show you this property. Guys, this is one of the most, I would say, impressive estates on the water. Right? It has 7 single-family homes on it. 7. It has 3 waterfalls. And this beautiful... For about $4.9 billion. That was a huge deal back then, ladies and gentlemen, because about 4 months later, Netflix came out and changed the entire game. Yeah. Now I'm going to digress from Wayne's World for a second because I want to show you two houses. One is on your right-hand side, it's this strange-looking structure. Weird and wonderful. Now, the original owner, nobody famous, found out there was a 25-foot setback requirement here. That meant he couldn't build within there. So sold Blockbuster to a company called Viacom for about $4.9 billion. That was a huge deal back then, ladies and gentlemen, because about 4 months later, Netflix came out and changed the entire game. Yeah. Now I'm going to digress from Wayne's World for a second because I want to show you two houses. One is on your right-hand side, it's this strange-looking structure. Weird and wonderful. Now the original owner, nobody famous, found out there was a 25-foot setback requirement here. That meant he couldn't build within there. Moved in, right? They didn't stay there more than a year and a half. The wife was like, it is way too hot here. So they packed it up, sold the house, and moved to Arizona. Go figure. On the left-hand side, just behind you guys in the front, is that seafoam blue-green house. Guys, that's where they shot that movie, Cape Fear. Remember that movie? Yeah, right there. They had to do it here, not in the Carolinas where the river is, because Nick Nolte was on house arrest. He couldn't leave the state. Yeah. Look on the right-hand side, say hello. Guys, that is a beautiful modern work of art, and it is my house. After party. Yeah, just kidding. Maybe in about 10 years or so. I'm working on it, guys. I'm taking donations. Help. Help. Look on the right-hand side. This is another beautiful home, guys, but it's extra special because everything to the left of those double doors in the middle is innate. It was built by a man named James Hutchins. Mr. Hutchins was not famous or anything, right? But he did do something important. Yes.